Grand Rising, Agape Nation, Agape family. How grateful I am for this now moment. I am Reverend Arlene Cecilia Hilton, and I am here to serve the community with our sacred reading this morning. Welcome to the Way of Meditation. Our reading this morning is from Reverend Michael, and it speaks to the theme for April. And I just want to add, the themes for every month have been ways of living. They're ways of living, ways of being, ways of lifting our consciousness. These are sacred teachings. Feel it. Awaken from the simulation. You can find it on Agape's website and below the meditative thought. You can find it on the website. So if you're interested in this reading, look on the website, and it is below the meditative thought. Great students of life and the awakening process, this month we are called upon to turn inward and reflect deeply on the nature of the simulation many of us unconsciously inhabit. A simulation born of our own thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, and perspectives. Most people on the planet live within this self-created reality, which is often shaped by the imprints received from the world of appearances and the collective beliefs of humanity. These external influences craft a mental framework, a virtual reality of sorts that feels real, but ultimately keeps us bound to limitation and separation. However, through dedicated spiritual practice and the power of high intention, we can awaken from this simulation with consistent meditation, contemplation, and self-inquiry. We begin the sacred process of becoming a safe and fertile ground for the transcendent qualities of life: prosperity, success, wellness, well-being, love, and peace. These qualities are always seeking a sanctuary, a place where they can reside and flourish. When we engage in spiritual practice, we become that safe place. Our journey begins with a clear and conscious intention to awaken. As we sit in meditation, we observe the ceaseless chatter of the mind, what I often call thinkingness. We notice the patterns and the habits of our conditioned thoughts, and then something profound occurs, and we start to observe ourselves, observing. This metacognitive awareness opens the doorway to a deeper question: what was my mind like before it was conditioned by the world of appearances? Before it was influenced by the simulation of collective beliefs? As we live in these questions, the veils of illusion begin to lift. We see that the simulation is not reality, but a projection, a reflection of our conditioned thinking. We realize that many are living in their own self-created worlds, and sometimes these worlds overlap with others, creating shared simulations. Yet through the inner work of awakening, we move beyond the simulation. We transition from being stimulated by the simulation to being inspired by spirit. Inspiration, after all, is the breath of the infinite moving through us, guiding us beyond the dream of separation and into the awareness of unity. Awakening is not simply an act of intellectual understanding, it is a lived experience. It is the movement from the illusion of separation to the realization of oneness. As we awaken, we embody the truth that we are not victims of the simulation, but creators of a higher reality with a capital R. We become conscious participants in the unfolding of life, guided by divine inspiration rather than conditioned thought. We are not here to merely survive within the simulation. We are here to transcend it, to awaken from the dream of separation, and to live as vessels and emanations of the infinite. With love, light, and infinite blessings, Reverend Michael B. Beckwith. Let us awaken from the simulation by turning within. As we close our eyes and turn inward, we remember. Beginning with gratitude, just so grateful for this new moment to remember our oneness. Grateful for the awareness that we are one in the one presence, one power, one love eternal. Grateful for the awareness that we are more than just ... that we are divine beings. We stand, we walk, we talk in the fullness of God. We are emanations of the Most High God. I am one with God. And I know that truth for each and every one of us, that we are one with the Creator, this universal presence, this ultimate intelligence that is everywhere evenly present. God is, and in God's isness we are. And so how grateful I am for this moment for us to sit in the way of meditation. We get to sit together and remember together who and whose we are. Grateful for Reverend Michael's divine yes as he comes forward for our Dharma talk, taking us on a deeper journey within, deeper within our own selves, deeper within our own being. We journey together. I know that this service has everything it needs for its own unfoldment. May the ears that hear and the eyes that see go deeper within than they've ever gone before. This is my prayer this day. And so I release this prayer unto the law, knowing the words I have spoken right now are words that are active, alive, and well in this now moment, activated by the very consciousness of the Most High God. I know all is well, and I know this service is perfect, whole, and complete. It is done. It is done. It is done. And so it is. And so it must be. Ashe.
Good morning, everyone. You've just been invited to enter into a deeper aspect of yourself through the Reverend Arlene Hilton. And in this particular moment, you're doing probably the most important thing you're going to do all day. And that is to extract your awareness and your attention away from the world of appearances, the world of effects, the world of circumstances, situations, conditions, people, places, and things, of which garner so much of our attention throughout the course of the day. When that garners most of your attention, then you become like a hamster on a hamster wheel, just rolling and going nowhere, because your entire attention is navigating through time and space, navigating through the world of appearances, navigating through the matrix, navigating through the simulation, which is the condensation of thoughts, beliefs, perceptions generated by the personality of which you think is real and eternal. It is not. Most people live in that particular realm and live a life of manipulation of conditions and people and things, and live a life according to their limited opinions that have been created by the personality construct. So when you come into the art and the science of meditation, you're opting out of that limited perception, and you're coming back to an awareness that your life is an emanation of the only life that there is, which is the life of God. You can say mystically that there's one power and one presence and one love that's everywhere. You can say scientifically that there's a quantum realm of infinite potential, infinite possibilities, pure consciousness, of which you are a unique, distinct emanation of. So when you're meditating, you're becoming still enough and intentional enough that you're freeing yourself from the gravitational pull of the simulation that is created by thought forms of limitation. You're becoming free. You're becoming liberated. The ramifications are you can be in the game of the simulation, but you're aware that you're in a game. You're aware that you're in a simulation. So you can activate your creative powers, and you can begin to manifest the life and the world you want to live in. You're not a victim to conditions. You have become victorious, transcending conditions, and we say that's anchoring heaven on earth. That is being in the simulation, but not of it. Being in the world of appearances, but of a higher frequency, a higher vibration. You are aware at this point of perhaps attending Agape for a particular period of time, or maybe you're new. Somewhere along the line, you're aware that everything has everything is vibration. I mean, even Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus the Christ, said, in substance, if I do not find one worthy, I'll command the rocks to shout out my name. So even the rocks shouting out a vibration and frequency of oneness. Frequency means the oscillation or the speed of the vibration. We're all vibrational beings. The speed is determined by your context by which you are living. You're either living, moving, and having your beingness in God, or you're living, moving, and having your beingness in the world of doubt, worry, fear, lack, limitation, separation. When you're living in a wider context, via spiritual practice, your frequency raises. You're a vibration, but now the frequency of that vibration is one of peace. It's one of love. It leads to kindness. It leads to generosity. It leads to creativity. Therefore, there becomes a vibrational match to your frequency via the universal law of mind and action, and you begin to manifest and demonstrate at the level of that frequency. It's law. And you're not tarrying with yesterday about what happened to you yesterday, what they said about you, and all the opinions. You're in the nowness of this moment. There is a match with your frequency. Your thought, your word, and your actions come into alignment, and you bring the glory of the living presence on earth, in whatever environment you're in. You are a free being. The good news and the bad news is the same thing. As your frequency rises, that which doesn't belong to you is released from you. Friendships become acquaintanceships. New friendships come into being. Different relationships that are matching the frequency that you're holding. That's the good news. And for some people, it's the bad news as they grieve the structures of their old life. But through that grieving process, what comes into your life is that which matches you, the higher frequency that you're holding. And so meditation is not escaping from the world, it's escaping from your limited perception of the world of appearances, so that you can be free and that you can anchor, bring the realm of ever-expanding good to the earth plane. Now, you opted to be here. You didn't come here accidentally. You opted. You said yes to being in the simulation of the earth plane. You said, yes, I'm going. I'm going to bring love, compassion, kindness, joy in the midst of turbulence. Now, if you're flying, you have a destination, you're on an airplane, a jet to Chicago, New York, Washington, D.C., Seattle, wherever, you always bump into a little turbulence as you're heading to your destination. And so when you opted to come into the earth plane, you bumped into turbulence. What is that turbulence? It's the thought forms that have condensed themselves in conditions before you got here. People had certain beliefs and perceptions that condensed itself into conditions and circumstances, and you bumped into that turbulence and it imprinted you. And then through some kind of coincidence, serendipity, spontaneous goodness, insight, revelation, you started to wake up. Oh my God, I'm caught in the turbulence. I'm caught in the belief structure of society. I'm caught in the belief structure of old religions and the way my parents used to think. And what happened? You go through the turbulence, and then you begin to wake up. And then you begin to see the simulation created by the turbulence of thought forms, but you're no longer bound by them. You are liberated. And so this is why I say this is probably one of the most important things you'll ever do every single day. Stopping, opting out of the simulation, the matrix, not trying to manipulate conditions and circumstances or people, coming back to that sacred connection. You wake up. So this is the way you can do it, and we're going to practice it right now. One, you'll stop and become very still, and you'll establish an intention to wake up. Awakening is a very powerful word. You're awakening from the intoxicated sleep. You're awakening from the dream of separation. So I'm sitting to wake up. Intention. And then the observer effect tells us that whatever you observe changes on a subatomic level just based on your observation. So you're sitting and you begin to self-reflect. You observe yourself. You observe the thoughts going through your awareness. Now, don't be silly and try to stop your thinking. You know, there's certain people, I got to get my mind quiet. I got to stop thinking. Nonsense. Whoever's teaching that needs to just stop it. It's ridiculous. It's a fraud. Thought forms emerge. Inner conversations emerge. Past emerges. Future musings emerge. There are moments in the gaps between that, but you know, you're observing all of that. You're observing and the sensations of the body, observing and even feeling and hearing the noise. The sounds in the room. We just don't label them noise. We just label them sounds. You're observing all of that. Then you begin to observe yourself observing. Why is that important? Because the original observer is probably your personality wanting to be enlightened. Your personality is never going to be enlightened. Your personality emerged from experience. It's just the personalities and sub-personalities, and you think that's who you are. It's not. Let me get to the point here. So you observe yourself observing. Now you're aware of what? You're aware of your awareness looking at yourself observing. Now, this is the good stuff. Now, divine mind is everywhere, and you begin to catch insights from divine mind, but it's not filtered through your personality. It's filtered through pure awareness, the unconditioned mind. Whew. Does it affect the personality? Absolutely. Does it change the personality? Absolutely. But your identification is with you, our awareness, pure awareness. And then the construct that was created by experience begins to change. Your personality changes. You watch it. You watch it. Let's sit. Squeeze your shoulders to your ears, and squeeze the body temple. Do the opposite of relaxation with your face, your scalp, your feet, everything, your fists. Just squeeze everything real tight and release. Slight smile on the face so that you're signaling the body temple to produce chemicals that are amplifying the immune system, slowing down the aging process, and creating a level of coherence with the brain, the hemispheres, all through a little smile. Hands in your lap facing upward, thumb and forefinger touching as a sign of transcending the egoic perception. Now become aware of your mental body, any thoughts that are arising, any inner conversations, any perceptions, opinions. You don't judge anything that's flowing through your awareness. You don't judge it. You just notice. Become aware of your body temple, any sensations that are happening at the body temple level. You don't judge those sensations, whether they be aches or pains or pleasures or itching or whatever. You just look at it. Just notice it. Interesting sensation. Become aware of the emotional body. If there are any emotions that rise and fall and rise and fall, you don't try to amplify, nor do you try to sublimate them. You're just aware that there's emotional content. And you become aware that the body's breathing, and the body is breathing in present time. It's not in the future or the past. That inhalation, that exhalation is happening presently. It's your anchor. So here you are simultaneously becoming aware of the mind chatter, the emotion, sensation of the body, sounds, and your breath is your anchor. Your intention is, I am awakening. Be with this for a moment. Now, give yourself permission to observe yourself observing. I wrote about this in the theme of the month. Just give yourself permission and notice that you can actually witness yourself sitting, observing the mind chatter, the emotions, the sensations, the sounds. Profound self-reflection. You're looking at little old you. If it's difficult, just imagine that you're observing yourself observing. Be with that for a moment. Now, as more and more of you is identified as awareness, not merely the personality construct, you're available to inspiration, wisdom, guidance, direct from divine mind, but not passing through personality. It's direct encounter, a lived experience, an encounter of awakening, oneness. Obviously, in this brief period of what we call time, we do the best we can in this process. Seeds are being planted so that you're not caught in the matrix of trying to change the world while you remain the same. You're opting out of the world. You're opting out of the world that the personality sees. And you're observing. You're self-observing. You are awareness. Observing. You. And available the imprint of divine mind. Your mind is an emanation of divine mind. gotten lost in the sauce of thinkingness. Come back to the breath. Observe. And then give yourself permission to observe yourself observing. Just permission. You are pure awareness, pure consciousness. You don't have consciousness. You are consciousness. You have a body. Be still. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God in the midst of you. Be still. Another moment. Observing, yourself observing, available to a direct encounter with the divine mind, of which your mind is an emanation of the only mind that there is. Encounter with intelligence, encounter with love, inspiration, beauty, order, harmony, abundance. Be still and know that I am God, the holy presence in the midst of you as you. We allow ourselves to receive a deep inhalation. Sayaba. And we give ourselves permission to elevate our awareness into the feeling tone of gratitude for everything and nothing at all. We allow ourselves to feel so grateful and so thankful that the chemicals of our body temple become so tonic, vivifying, that we roll back the hands of time and become so clear that we're so thankful to be alive, so grateful. It is in this consciousness of gratitude and dynamic thanksgiving that we recognize this great presence that is everywhere. Oh my God, how great thou art. Oh my God, how infinite and divine is thy holy, holy name, thy divine nature in me and as me. How great! Oh, so one with the presence that the very word that is being spoken is a vibrational frequency of wholeness, wellness, oneness, well-being, abundance, beauty, joy, ecstasy, bliss, and spiritual power. How good it is to be awake and aware and alive. To know that the very word is a law unto itself, that only knows its own unfolding, knows no obstacle nor hindrance, time or space. It only knows itself, and it is unfolding now, as each and every one of us, that we may perfectly reveal and reflect the infinite according to our unique pattern, harmonizing prosperity, wellness, wholeness, well-being, vitalizing health, vitality, and vigor, wisdom and guidance, divine intelligence, moving through and as us. All of this and more than words can say. Woo! Deep feeling tone. We yield to it. We surrender to it. We allow it. And it takes over as us. Flow, motion. And we give thanks that this is so. All needs met. Overflow. We allow it to be so. Therefore, we can say unequivocally, and so it is, now and forever. Amen, and so be it. we slowly open our eyes and become aware that you're in this world, but you're of a higher frequency right now. And through your dedicated, committed spiritual practice, you will create new set points, new baselines for yourself, and continue to unfold into the many mansions in the Father's house, many dimensions in the quantum field. And as Dr. Homer Johnson used to say, you won't even look over the balcony and look down. You won't come downstairs. You'll just stay and draw. Thank you for participating in the Way of Meditation with us this morning, Way of Meditation service. This is our opportunity to bring about a dynamic sense of gratitude and celebration of oneness through our consciousness of generosity, supporting this spiritual community in a very powerful way. Whatever you choose to give today, whatever the amount that you're giving, just infuse it with love and gratitude, and be aware that it's okay for you to give something. Some people will say things like, well, I don't have that much. I'll be embarrassed if I give a little. No. Everybody gives something, and it becomes more than enough for our spiritual community. So we turn within in this moment, and we give thanks. We give thanks for this community known as Agape International Spiritual Center. We give thanks for all of the ministries, programs, projects, staff, equipment, everything. The practitioners, we give thanks for all of this, classes, everything. And we bless it with our generosity and our donations. We give thanks for this and allow it to be so, and so it is. Amen. So in this precise moment, you open yourself up to the Spirit within you to guide you in your giving, and you may take out your mobile device, and you may text the word give. 424-321-6243. This information obviously is on your screen that you're watching on right now. 424-321-6243. Just text the word give. If you've never done this before, your phone will be prompted. And then you will then choose the amount you want to give and make it a choice, not a reaction, choice from your heart. And if you so desire, you can write the word cover after that gift, which means you're covering the expense of the technology that we have to pay for, which is a little less than 3% of your offering. You can do that right this moment. If you would like, perhaps, to go directly to our website, maybe you're watching us on a YouTube channel right now, or on Facebook, you can go to agapelive.com. You'll see a donation banner. You know how to follow the banner. You choose the amount you want to circulate today, and we always say circulate. We don't say spend. Spend, if you spend something, it's gone. If you circulate, it comes back. So consciously, you circulate the good, bless it, and you support this community. If, in fact, you want to mail in your donation, your tithe, your gift, your offering, however you identify it, you can make out your checks and money orders to Agape International. Send it to Agape International, 8549 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1156, Beverly Hills, California, 90211. If you're outside of the United States, of which so many of you are, put USA on the envelope. If you'd like to Venmo, many of you are starting to use our Venmo technology. The QR code is right here on your screen. You just take your mobile device, set it to camera, point it in that direction. It'll take you right into the Agape International account. There are other communities that have arisen that are using the name Agape, but this would take you into Agape International, the original. And you may choose the amount, and you may generously support this community. You can do this right this moment. So don't delay. Send yours in right away. As Stevie Wonder would say, love is in need of love today. I'll be right back. I think we have Victor Dickerson coming forward to highlight some of the wonderful things in our community.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. Good morning, Agape. We have a few highlights for you today, and each of these is available at agapelive.com, so visit the Agape website for our weekly offerings and for more details on all of these announcements. All times listed are Pacific time. Agape has a brilliant podcast, Take Back Your Mind with Reverend Michael. This week, Rev welcomes Dr. David Horton. David experienced a profound transformation when Dee Dee, his beloved wife of 32 years, passed away while writing her inspirational novel, Layer Upon Layer. David finished and published her book, sharing his story of grief and resiliency and honoring Dee Dee's insightful life and legacy. And on Friday, check out the next episode of Take Back Your Mind Life Question of the Week, Overcoming Fear-Based Thinking in Relationships. Watch or listen to Take Back Your Mind and the Life Question of the Week with Michael B. Beckwith on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. And subscribe to receive alerts when new shows drop each Wednesday and Friday. Your soulful journey, a destiny call. Travel to Ghana with Reverend Michael. Make the pilgrimage of a lifetime. Join Rev as he travels to Accra, Ghana, August 8th through the 19th. Seats are limited. Deposits are due now. For more information, either connect with Jokeda out in the lobby at the Agape travel table or email Jokeda at jokeda@msn.com. Time to get into energetic shape with Agape University's brand new 5-week course, The Frequency Factor. Ignite your purpose by vibrating at the level of your dreams. Led by dynamic Agape minister and best-selling author of What's Your What, Reverend Dr. Julie Moret. This transformational course is your next-level spiritual workout. You'll learn to build high-frequency prayers that match your deepest desires, induce creative flow states and energetic alignment, set up your environment to resonate with health, love, success, and abundance. Discover the secret sauce for manifestation. Each week, Reverend Julie is joined by powerhouse guest speakers from Super Bowl champions to best-selling authors and CEOs, all of which have mastered the frequency factor and are ready to share their tools with you. Class starts this Wednesday, April 9th at 6 p.m. Pacific, all online. Can't make the live classes? No worries. Recordings and class materials will be sent to you each week so you can catch up anytime, anywhere. Your vibration is your invitation. So start sending out a signal to the universe that it can't ignore. Register now at agapeuniversity.com. We hear the heart of Mother Earth calling forth peace. Join Common Unity's Earth Spirit Agape and Roadshow ministries in their drum circle for peace, ushering in spring, joy, and Earth Day, April 13th at 1 p.m. at the Learning Garden next to Venice High School. For more information, please email cuinaction@agapelive.com. Loving Hands Unite, the Adoption, Foster Care, Fertility Ministry, will have their monthly meeting this Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. If you would like support with any aspect of the adoption process, please email lovinghandsunite@agapelive.com to receive the Zoom link and join us. Reverend Michael and his partners at Neutralize are enthusiastic to share a groundbreaking development from Adaptogen. Introducing Elevate, organic fermented mushrooms, their latest innovation designed to elevate your mind, body, and spirit to new heights. This product is based on the mushroom supplements Rev takes for the immune system, brain function, gut health, and longevity, and were created as a transformative step forward in your holistic wellness. Visit Neutralize.com, choose Adaptogen, and pick up your Super Green Foods at the same time to elevate your health. Peace and blessings, Agape.
Thank you, Dr. Victor Dickerson. I jumped way into the future timeline. Let's pray and give thanks for the influx of divine harmonizing prosperity and abundance for this magnificent spiritual community. We give thanks that all of our needs are met. We give thanks that we're living from an overflow, that we're thinking from abundance. We give thanks that, as the Bhagavad Gita reminds us, we can take abundance from abundance, but abundance still remains. So we live from that overflow consciousness and always ask, how and what can I give and share to be on the right side of the law? We bless this community and we give thanks that from this moment on, everything is unfolding in the most perfect and magnificent way. And so it is. Amen. Thank you so much for being with us. Obviously, we have 2 more services of the day. You may participate in these services: 8:30 meditation, 9 a.m. worship celebration fellowship service, and of course, 11 a.m. meditation, 11:30 worship celebration fellowship service. You can come on up to Agape in person at that service and celebrate with us. Wherever you are on the planet, rise up with us. Just stand up and allow yourself to, just as you're standing up, for those who can't stand, you're taking a stand for your freedom. Even if it's difficult for you to stand for whatever reason, inside you're taking a stand for your liberation, your freedom, taking a stand for peace and wellness and well-being and love. As we hear the beginning of this song,
I'm tired of the guilt.
You see that? I'm tired of the guilt, yes.
That brings me pain. Now is the time for me to let go of the shame. The past behind me, I see anew. I'm ready for my change.
There it is right there. We're in preparation for a great change. We're in preparation for a great transformation to go beyond the present formation of our life. So the unfolding of our consciousness is continual because we are participating in it. We are not anticipating, we are participating in the unfoldment of the all-good that wants to know itself as our very life and being. Today is a great day, and we let it be so, and so it is. Amen. Peace and blessings, everyone. We'll see you at the next services.